We've just returned from a 7-day backpack trip. We're now back at Lake Telaquana. There's Telaquana Mountain. There's the lake.
Need a beer, John? Got you a beer.
Yeah, I'll have a beer, you bet.
Here's the food. More food I brought in. Got a care package from you guys there at home. That was good. A lot of good things in there. Cheerios and
Got this tape.
got this tape where we're filming on there. And we got some Townhouse crackers. All kinds of good things to eat. And we're making pizza tonight, aren't we, John?
You bet. We've been craving this pizza here for about 4 days now.
We're gonna have beer and pizza. Come on in.
Listening to a tape. Paint your wagon. Ooh, yeah.
Put the pizza crust.
Think that'll be enough pizza?
Oh, probably. We'll get a snack.
Well, if not, we have Townhouse crackers and chocolate chip cookies and
Oh, yeah.
Pringles and PB Max.
Lots of PB Max.
Yeah.
So we got the sauce, we got the mushrooms on there. Look at here. What do we got here, John? You've done this. You did this aspect of it.
Cheese, olives, and a little bit of pepperoni.
You did all the cutting up.
Oh yeah, and you did the dough preparation.
We're going to put on the... What should we put on next, John? Black olives?
Oh yeah, lots of black olives. Yeah, oh yeah. We're pretty hungry. Been eating noodles for 7 days. We did have a nice fish dinner when we got to Twin Lakes. Twin Lakes Ranger there fixed us a dinner, baked grayling, and she grows lettuce over there, so we had a little bit of salad. That's nice. And today we haven't had much to eat at all. Just some, oh, well, we picked a bunch of blueberries. How many blueberries? I bet we got 2 quarts of blueberries out of that patch.
Oh, I bet, yeah, but that pan, each one of them pans hold about a quart, man.
Yeah, we picked 2 quarts of blueberries during the hike, right before we got to Twin Lakes. And we fixed those in blueberry muffins this morning.
And do you usually put the cheese on and then the meat on top, John?
I think the cheese usually goes on last.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sometimes you see like little rounds of pepperoni on top.
You could do that too.
I'll put a few on here. This is this is salami, actually. It'll be good. It's good. It's good salami,
yeah, salami.
But I don't eat it all. Yeah, we just had some granola for lunch. That's all we had left. Pretty much run our food supply down. Time to ride. You don't want to carry too many extra food when you're carrying it on your back. Each of us had just right at 50 pounds. We weighed it. Let's have scales here. We're carrying about 50 pounds for him, John.
Mm-hmm.
A little cheese on.
It's about 58 degrees here. Real pleasant weather. We've jumped in the lake about an hour ago. Get cleaned off. And now we're just kind of waiting for this pizza to get done. We'll finish it. Then we'll go to bed, but tomorrow morning we got a lot of stuff management to do. There you can see the gear from our backpack trip. There's my backpack down there. We need to unpack that. And then Rich has to put away all this food. He got 3 boxes from $4 worth today. He's got to do something with all that food, and in this little cabin, there's just not a whole lot of space.
We put a dent in the food though. You brought a lot of food too, John. You brought a lot of fresh food.
Yeah, I brought
We had chicken. We had chicken the first night. Chicken, and then we had some hamburger, and we had some steaks. Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So we're gonna break now and probably come back sometime mid-meal. Here in Alaska, a lot of the ground cover is blueberries. An amazing amount. The primary vegetation seems to be blueberries. And in this little spot right outside of the cabin, there's blueberries. And I'll try to zoom in here to show you some blueberries. Those round leaves are blueberry leaves. Yeah. Right there. Oh yeah. And they're just covering the entire ground. Blueberries up there, right? Ooh. There's a nice sample. And during our hike yesterday, well, last week, we found a thick patch of blueberries in one spot of about 10 feet by 10 feet square. We picked 2 quarts, and there was still another 2 quarts there, easy. It's an amazing thing. There's also cranberries growing all on the ground everywhere. Pretty amazing country. See that where I'm standing is just right in Richard's front yard. We plan to get out here and pick some blueberries and put them on pancakes. Also in Rich's front yard is a nice patch of fireweed. That's that pink flower that just seems to be everywhere up here. Beautiful flower, beautiful flower. Fireweed. And they call it fireweed because it really has a tendency to regenerate or grow back quickly in forests that have been burned. We saw that last year in Yellowstone. In the blackened areas of the park, fireweed would come in. Now, what is really neat about fireweed is that it grows and the flowers come out on a stalk. You can see here on this one that the flowers are at the top of the stalk. Right there. See, the flowers on the top of the stalk are in bloom. The flowers that have bloomed in the past are now long seed pods. There's long seed pods. And these fireweed starts to bloom in mid-summer, and as the season progresses, the flowers bloom from bottom to top, meaning that those flowers now blooming on the top of the stalk will indicate to us that summer is over and fall is right around the corner. In fact, this morning at Twin Lakes, this morning at Twin Lakes, it was 32 degrees, and some of the colors on the hills are gold. It is fall here now, even though it's only August 8th. There you see a bumblebee going from fireweed flower to fireweed flower. Boy, he's too fast to follow. Mr. Squirrel. See, he's got a pine cone. The spruce here are just loaded with pine cones. Where'd he go? Here's the top, the small spruce. It is loaded with pine cones. Spruce cones, actually. And Mr. Squirrel climbs all the way up there, and he just picks them off and drops them. One morning, he woke us up because there's a spruce tree right above the cabin, and he was dropping these cones right on the roof. And then after he drops them, he then climbs down the tree and then just starts collecting them, putting them in his mouth, and he runs and he takes them to his den, which is under one of the trees. I don't think you can see the cones on that spruce because we have backlighting. That's the spruce right above the cabin. And Mr. Squirrel's been waking us up in the mornings by dropping cones onto the roof. The lair of Mr. Squirrel underneath this tree. He's also found some toilet paper somewhere. There's 2 holes, entry to his home. And the back door is up here under the wood pile. I would say he is going to be well supplied for the winter because he has been busy collecting cones. I don't see him around right now. He was barking at me a minute ago. He ran into his hole in the wood pile. Pretty industrious. There he goes. Like a gray squirrel, only smaller still. These western squirrels aren't near as big as the Indiana fox squirrel or gray squirrel. Dink. The deciduous tree growing around here is not an aspen, but a birch. There we can see the bark. A little more papery than an aspen. White, but more flaky. Same squirrel. See how that bark just flakes off? Pretty flaky stuff. Another hole. Must be one of his food caches. Cone, into the hole. Cone, in mouth, in hole. Cone, hole. Does this all day long. He doesn't seem to be too scared of us. Looks like he's kind of scratching around for one or two more cones. He's knocked off a tree. Ah, scratch. Cone, hole. Cone, mouth, hole.
There's John. Checking the pizza, John?
Checking it, it's done.
Huh?
This is done.
Heck, I never seen a sight that didn't look better looking back.
That one can go not much longer.
Bring it out and take a look at it, Jen. Show our audience. I'll zoom in on it.
I think it's close enough to being good.
We could probably turn off the stove and just put it back in.
That's a nice looking piece of pizza.
Oh, you bet. Love will never come true.
Here's mine.
I don't. That's probably mine. It's yours on the table? I don't know.
Yes. Okay.
Well, let's take that outside. Let's take a look at it outside. John is holding the pizza. Just one of the pizzas. What do we got on there, John?
Well, we have cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese. What's the meat?
Salami.
Salami, and olives, and pizza sauce and tomato sauce.
Looks good. Under Telaquana Mountain. There's Telaquana Lake out there. Okay, John, you ready to go inside and cut that thing up and eat it?
I was ready hours ago.
All right. How's it, John?
Darn good. My mouth's full, I couldn't answer.
You need another piece of pizza. I better get your piece. Couldn't take another piece? Does it look okay to you?
Oh, it looks great. Thank you. Pizza upside down pie.
I think I'll have another piece too.
Better take one.
Oops, that one's upside down. Well, we're eating our pizza. Mine's upside down though. Pretty good. This is a thin and floppy crust here. The bottom didn't get too thin. The other one should be a lot better. Crust-wise, this is good. Taste it. We're listening to soundtrack from Paint Your Wagon. Old tape I had for a long time. We've been talking about making pizza and drinking beer for about 4 or 5 days. Since about the second day to hiking. Well, you're probably tired of watching us eat. Here's sunset at Telaquana. Boy, we're getting pretty early sunsets now. It's only about 10 o'clock. I guess it is 10 o'clock. Beautiful evening. There's John looking at the sunset. What do you think of the sunset, John?
I think it's spectacular. It was pink earlier, more pink.
Just
The
about.
hillside over there was pink.
sunset.